If you have just received a cancer diagnosis or know of someone who has, you might find my video diary useful to understand the emotions one goes through. They show the importance of exercising before your surgery, as the fitter you are, the better the recovery.
Hi. It's funny, I joined the Macmillan site and it's good to share different people's feelings, but as many people say, with tongue cancer, it could be any part of the tongue. It could be a small bit, it could be a big bit. People have different fitness levels. So it's very difficult to compare one person to another. But I think everyone who has cancer like this, and I can tell you, cancer tastes foul. But anyone who has cancer like this, you get angry, you get really depressed, then your friends pick you up and then you get this stubbornness inside you that says, damn it, I'm going to fix it. It's very strange. Wasn't in my life plan, but hey, I'm going to get through it. And by doing these video diaries, if this can help anybody to look after their body better than they are doing at the moment, then I'll be pleased. So, I've enjoyed lots of wine, but not excessively. I've never smoked. And there are a lot of particularly young women drinking a lot and smoking a lot. And all I can say is if you get the slightest spot on your tongue, go see somebody. And don't let them say, oh, it's just a tooth rubbing on your tongue. If they find out it is, brilliant. But don't have them wait as long as I've had to wait. Oh, that was tough today. I went to see the surgeon and he offered me 3 options. One, to take the cancer out and put a dye in and then find out, in fact, whether there was any cancer in the lymph glands inside or precancerous cells. But unfortunately that would affect my speech even more. Option 2 was to take out the cancer and also do a neck dissection, which involves cutting the neck and then cutting a piece of skin. And that's attached to a vein and capillaries. And then they graft that onto the tongue. That option gives me a better speech recovery. And the third option is to take the cancer out and then basically use radiation and hope that there isn't anything in the cells. He asked me to think about it, but I just decided I like my voice. So I'm going to go for option 2. He's a really nice guy, and I got to see the Macmillan nurse afterwards, who was great, and it just all feels very strange. So the operation was planned for next week, but that was an hour operation of options 1 and options 3. Option 2 is an 8 to 10 hour operation, and they also got to take a bit of skin off my tummy to put on the piece of skin that they've taken off the arm. So I'll be a bit of a patchwork for a while. But hey, I'm alive, I'm not dying, and I'm potentially going to be able to speak after about 6 months. So, hey, not too bad. The funniest thing today was I told him that I'd avoided having an arthroscopy. When I had my back problem, I wasn't going to be operated just so I could sit in a chair. Then I worked with a hydrotherapist who looked after horses. And in 8 months, anyone who knows me is I work out 6 times a week and I've been very healthy. And it was quite funny because he said, when I told him I was stubborn, he said, I like stubborn. Woke up this morning to the phone ringing. And it was the Oxford Hospital Centre, so I've got the date. And she was a bit reluctant to tell me because it's May the 1st and that's my birthday. But hey, it could be the best birthday gift ever to get rid of this. Anyway, spoke to my son yesterday, and that was a bit difficult because I hadn't spoken to him since September. And it would be nice if he comes over, but I'm not sure if he will. But I've got loads of friends around me. I've got 3 weeks to go, so I'm fit already. I'm going to get ultra fit and I'm going to beat this thing. It's 11:30 on Saturday. I'm not having a very good day. I struggle to get out of bed. There's horrible thoughts that go through your head. But I had the most lovely note from one of the Macmillan, not the nurses, it's like a forum, like any other forum, saying how she'd got through it on her birthday and insisted that all the theatre staff sang her happy birthday. So perhaps I'm going to do that. Yeah, it was great yesterday. I had a great afternoon with girlfriends. We laughed about all the things that girlfriends laugh about. Men and life in the universe, food. And then we went for a lovely walk. But I just woke up this morning with the real blues. I think I'm scared. Yeah. I'm scared. What am I going to look like? What am I going to sound like? Anyway, it is what it is. Well, Spartacus, that's what we call this demon in my mouth, is not very good today, but I'm in fighting mood. I had a great morning. I went and did a double workout at the gym, body conditioning and fitness Pilates afterwards, and it was good. And I was a little bit tired because obviously my body is fighting something. But I'm in fighting mode. I'm going to get myself so fit. And the fitness does wonders for your brain. It just has made me less teary and I'm having a good day. Anyway, good day. Want more of these days before the 1st of May. It was about 6 hours ago I did the last video. And I remember reading yesterday that when you have cancer, you get mood swings like crazy. I've never suffered mood swings. This is really weird for me. But hey, I'm feeling good. The sun's shining, a bit of cloud. I've just written a few things down to get them off my chest. And I'm in fighting mode. I'm bloody well going to beat this. So, I've booked to go to the gym every day this week. I'm doing a double class on Thursday. I'm reasonably fit anyway. I've lost a couple of pounds, but I'm trying to eat about 4 small meals a day, but it's so sore to eat. But hey, avocado smoothies, and I made the weirdest supper last night, which was a puree of spinach and sardines and shrimp and some Indian spices. It wasn't bad, actually. Bit of coconut milk in it. I'm just trying to get really good food inside me. I eat normally really well, but I'm going to be as fit as I can be when they put me out. 2 weeks to go, and went to Pilates this afternoon. And I think, as I mentioned, doing exercise is great, gives you the endorphins, it gets you out of the house and stops you navel gazing. Navel gazing. I'm really happy. I've heard from my son. I hadn't heard from him for a very long time. We've had a difficult relationship, so that's positive. And it made me feel really good to read, "Mum, I don't want you dead." And I came back and I said, "I don't plan to be dead, honey. I want to live a long time yet." But, no, I feel good today. Yeah, I get emotional. I think that's just part of the package, or the journey, as people call it. But exercise is just really good. Now, food, I had a craving just now. I'd gone to Tesco's. I desperately wanted a hot cross bun. but I can't eat a hot cross bun. So I bought some, and I thought, well, if I put a hot cross bun into hot water, I could perhaps make it mushy. And although it looked foul, at least it gave me a nice bit of pre-Easter flavour. So anyway, funny story there. So I bought myself some salmon for tonight. I'm trying to give myself really good food, even if I have to puree it. But last night Spartacus was playing up, and I wasn't happy at 1 o'clock and at 3 o'clock in the morning. But hey, had a good day. I'm going to do a few chores tonight, and tomorrow night I've got an invite for supper. But of course I've got to tell my friends, if you have me over, it's got to be soup, or it's got to be pureed potato or something like that. But when this is all over, I can't wait to have a really good meal. Well, the morning started quite well because I went and did a double class at the gym. I did fitness Pilates followed by Forever Fit, which is sort of circuits and aerobics. And then this thing just started hurting. And all I could manage for my lunch was some porridge and flax seeds. And I thought I had a piece of, like a little bit of the lump of porridge or flaxseed on my tongue. And it wasn't. It was part of this thing that's growing on my tongue. And it just depressed me seeing it getting the size and uncomfortableness. I went out tonight to have mushroom soup with a friend of mine. But I'm not very comfortable and just, I can't wait 12 days to go. This is really getting to me. Hi, it's Good Friday, so happy Easter, whoever's watching. I'm not having a great day. My salivary gland here is so sore. And there's obviously nobody I can call on Good Friday, but I will call the doctor next week. It is getting so sore to swallow. But for my breakfast, rather than porridge, because it gets a bit boring for porridge, I just did 2 very, very soft poached eggs. I mashed up some asparagus heads, had a little bit of chopped up salmon, and put some cream with a bit of cheddar cheese and melted it, and made a variation of Eggs Benedict. No bread or anything. But yeah, you can't get away from it. That's what I'm feeling at the moment. It's been a bit of a strange day today. I woke up this morning and I'm pretty fed up with this thing. The pain's getting a bit worse. My throat's hurting. I sneeze, it hurts. I yawn, it hurts. And I was feeling a little bit low. But I was lucky. My friend Peter called and just got me to boost my morale a little bit. And I ended up saying, right, I'm going to attack the garden. So I attacked the garden, took a whole load of stuff to the tip, and ended up cleaning out of my garage a little bit. And it was just nice to do stuff that didn't make me think about it. I think one of the things I've learned is that I need people. I know some people, when they're ill, they want to crawl into bed in a cocoon and just not see anybody. Whereas I need people. I find if I can be with people and do stuff that means I'm not talking about this, then it's so much better. So I had a nice evening. My friend Peter came round and I decided to make a rather nice supper, which was venison and vegetables and juniper berries, cloves, cinnamon, thyme, red wine, and cook it for 3.5 hours. And so Peter had what was a normal stew, but I ended up just taking a couple of pieces of meat and all the vegetables and juice and putting it through the puree, the food processor. And it tasted really nice. Probably the most tasty meal I've had in a month. So anyway, I'm going to go to sleep tonight, and I'm not feeling quite so blue. I just want the days to go really quickly and get this over and done with. Spent the evening trying to figure out how to park at the hospital, because that's not going to be easy. But we can sort that out when we go on Thursday for my pre-op. So, hope you've all had a happy Easter. Peter brought me a lovely Easter egg, and with the view to melt it into hot milk for making chocolate drinks. So that was good. It's Easter Sunday, and the morning started a bit strange, but then I knew I was having guests for lunch, and so I did a half leg of roast lamb and some dauphinoise potatoes and asparagus and beans. Started off with mushroom soup, so I couldn't eat the mushroom soup. I basically pureed the asparagus, beans, gravy and potatoes. And then I had a great dessert, being Easter, tiramisu, which was really nice. It was such a nice day to not talk about this demon, not talk about my fears. Had a little bit of a tear when my friend Ivan left, because I realised the next time I'm going to see him, I may not have the voice that I've got at the moment. So that just gave me a bit of a twinge in the tummy. But essentially, I've had a great day. Been beautiful weather, not a cloud in the sky. And it's just nice to have really good friends at this time. Today was a really good day. And I've just discovered that if I keep people in my life, it's not as hard. And I had a really bad time last night because I actually bit the tumour accidentally, and it was very painful. So I didn't feel like a lot of breakfast or lunch today, but it's a little bit better now. But I went out on a 10-mile hike. I went in the Meon Valley with my hiking group, and I was really quite touched by the support from them. And even when we finished at the pub in the afternoon, one of the guys put his arm around me and he said, "We won't laugh at you if you talk funny." It was just nice. So it was lovely out. We saw beautiful bluebells and it was sunny, and it kind of gave me a distraction from what's going on in my mouth. I heard from a cousin in Australia who's sadly has got melanoma on his thigh. His father, my uncle, had cancer of the colon. My mother's sister, my aunt, she died at 54 with breast cancer, which spread to her spine and kidneys. And my mum had a cancer here when she was in her 20s, and she had breast cancer when she was 85. So that's why I've been trying to look after myself and eat well, exercise well, lead a fairly sane life. But I guess if you've got cancer genes in the family, something's going to happen. Anyway, we're down, as I mentioned yesterday, to single figures, 8 days to go. And, I can't wait. I'm not looking forward to the operation, but I'm just looking forward to getting rid of this demon. The elimination of Spartacus. Anyway, my morale's better today. Well, I went and did my last exercise class today before the operation. I did a pump class followed by yoga, and I was so touched because in my yoga class my yoga teacher didn't tell the group, but spoke to me beforehand and said that he was going to work on chakras all related to the throat and the mouth and the neck. I've just been so touched how people are so kind. So that was good. And we're going to go up to the pre-op tomorrow, and then hopefully tomorrow evening I'm going to go dancing. So probably be the last time I get to go dancing before the op. And I need to be able to wave my arms around to do jiving. So that should be fun tomorrow. And yeah, I'm not quite so teary now. It's almost like I'm on the homeward stretch, and getting the operation will be great. Spartagus, this horrible thing in my mouth, wasn't great this morning and made it very, very difficult to eat. But I've just managed 2 huge glasses of pureed strawberries, raspberries, blackcurrants, blackberries, topped with fresh cream, and that was nice. See if I can manage a scrambled egg tonight. It's Friday the 26th. Yesterday was a crazy day. I went to the hospital in Oxford for the pre-op. Got a shock with a cardiologist when he showed me my heart under ultrasound to see that the 2 lower chambers, the atrium, were very distended. He said they were double the size they should be and that the muscles weren't working very well. But the ventricles were pumping away nicely, so hopefully that's right. He explained why I've got my AF and why a cardioversion wouldn't work. So there's a murmur, which could be a risk during surgery, but let's hope I'm fit enough to cope with that. Great nurse. What was really funny was he asked me to put my fitness level. When I looked at the form, it sort of said, can come up and down stairs without being out of breath. And I said, but I hiked 10 miles last Monday and I've worked out 6 hours this week. He said, oh, forget the chart, just put 10 out of 10. Met the anaesthetist, who went in great detail as to what was going to happen and a little bit about the type of surgery. He reckons I won't be woken up on the 3rd morning. I'll probably be woken up on the 2nd night. And then went to IKEA to lose 3 hours and then met Mr. Prabhu, the surgeon. He's lovely. He is so calm. He let me talk about my concerns and I got a bit emotional. But I recorded the session and actually went over it again tonight. So it made it a lot clearer because I could see beyond my emotion yesterday and learn the real facts of what he said. I think what upset me the most was he said, I'm going to have to get used to a new normal. Somehow in my head I thought, I'm going to kick this thing and it might take a bit of time, but I'll get back to normal. But I guess I won't. I'll have a new normal, as he put it. He mentioned that I still may need radiotherapy and all the problems that radiotherapy in the neck can do. He has a 95% success rate, so that's very positive. And only 1% of the patients die. But he said most of his patients are excessive drinkers and smokers. And he said, you're not. So any little complications we might have, he said, your body is fit to try and cope with it. It better be. We
talked about where the scars were going to be. My neck's going to be cut somewhat more than I thought. It's going to be cut down here and round here. And in doing so, I'll have a stiff neck for the rest of my life. But hey, I'll be alive. He can't do the graft symmetrically for my bikini, but he said he's going to make it a very fine line, so I shouldn't have to worry too much. Girlfriend suggested I get a tattoo, but I think I'll have been through enough things with this surgery that I certainly don't want to have a tattoo. What was interesting was he showed me a video of one of his patients, a lady, who'd had a very similar operation, and he interviewed her 10 months after the surgery. And she was talking, a slight lisp, but very coherently. And she said she'd managed a round of golf. And he showed me an email from one of his patients who'd had his whole tongue removed and reconstructed from the shoulder. And that person had gone kite surfing again. So I think what I learnt from yesterday, I've got to be so positive that I'm coming out of this. At the moment, I'm saying radiotherapy is not an option. Mr. Prabhu, he better cut everything out, and those lymph nodes, please be cancer-free. Please be cancer-free. In fact, I'm going to start imagining they are cancer-free.
One of the things I found after my cancer diagnosis, beside all the tears, the stress and other weird emotions, is exercising. It's a great stress reliever. It creates endorphins and it makes you feel good. A walk gets you out of the house to avoid feeling sorry for yourself. So do use exercise to beat your cancer.
It's the last night at home before I go into hospital. But today's been really interesting. I had almost cancelled it, but I started about October, November, doing training to be an advanced driver or an advanced driver observer. I've already got my advanced driving test. And I realised with going into hospital I wasn't going to be able to go on the weekend that everyone was going on, who was wanting to do this. So fortunately Andy Ball in our group, he arranged for my test today. So after nearly 4 hours of driving and talking and me evaluating him, etc., I'm now an official advanced driving observer. So I will be able to take out people and teach them how to improve their driving skills. So I'm quite excited about that, and it gives me something to aim for beyond May the 1st. So, been on my own tonight. I did have the chance to go out with friends, but I've had too much to do, sorting paperwork out, finishing packing, etc. It does feel weird. This recording is going to be probably the last time you'll hear my voice like it is now. Unless a miracle happens. So I like my voice. I've used my voice throughout my life. I've used my voice in my career as a pilot, as a marketing person, as an environmental lecturer, as a mum, and I've kind of got used to it. But perhaps I'll have a new voice. I've had friends say, or perhaps I'll have a sexy voice. One of the things I've been doing, which, yes, it's helped. I've been swearing at this tumour in my mouth. We've given him the name Spartacus. So I've basically been telling him, your days are numbered and you're going to leave me and never come back.
I'm trying to be positive. My doctor and all my friends are trying to get me to be positive, and sometimes it's easier than others. But I guess I feel I'm on the home stretch. And then from 8 o'clock on May 1st, my life's going to change. But even if I can't talk properly, or I don't talk the same, I'm still me. I even had a funny thought today. I used to do some modelling in my 30s, and again I did it in my late 50s. And I've still got the figure. So providing we can cover up the scars, you don't need to talk to do modelling. So perhaps that's something I could do again. I quite like to write a cookbook with all the pureed food I've had. I'm so fed up. We're now the 29th of April, and I haven't had a proper meal where you can use your knife and fork since the 1st of March. So I look forward to having a decent meal where I can chew and I can stop dribbling at the side of my mouth because my muscles have got weak with not chewing. Because if you look in the mirror, the muscles that you use when you're chewing are very different from the muscles you use when you're talking. So I look forward to getting those in shape. I'm looking forward to seeing my friends when they come to visit. So we're going to have to get used to sign language. We've already decided that 1 grunt is no and 2 grunts are yes. I don't know what to expect, and I think that's the frightening thing. I have always organised my life and knew what was going to happen. I've always been able to fix things. I'm a misfix-it. When I damaged my knee, I found a way, instead of having an arthroscopy, to fix my knee. And my knee is perfectly flexible. So I avoided an arthroscopy. But unfortunately, cancer, you can't just tell it to go away. It's there. And with a good surgeon, like I'm sure I have with Mr. Prabhu, he's going to get rid of it. And he's going to get rid of a lot of it. And it is not coming back. There is no way. Had a nice email from my piano teacher yesterday. And I had said she had had cancer. And I said that I'd love to come back, but I've no idea what it's going to be like with my voice. And so she said, no problem, why don't you just come over and we'll play some duets together. So I've got lots of things I can look forward to. And I'll be able to go on hikes, because after all, my legs aren't going to have a problem. Once the scar on my belly has repaired, won't have any problem hiking. And I'll have to do a lot of physio, but I've already spoken to my Pilates teacher, who is more than happy to work on the bits that I can use rather than the stiff bits that I can't. So it's quite funny having all your friends telling you're strong when in fact inside you don't feel very strong. But I guess I am quite a strong lass. And perhaps my strength is also my stubbornness. But it's going to pull me through. I know it will. So, say goodbye to this voice. Who knows? I might be able to do a video tomorrow, I don't know. But if not, if any of you out there have got cancer and you've watched my videos to learn a little bit about some of the feelings you're going to have, it does go up and down. And some people have said to me, oh, how awful that you're having it done on your birthday. It's not awful. It's the best birthday present. It's going to give me life. I'm not going to last very long if I leave this bugger in my mouth. So, exercise,
Stay positive, which is so difficult when everybody says stay positive and inside you're shaking and the tears are coming to your eyes. But keep busy. Keeping busy is important, and keeping busy doing good things. Things that you really like. Don't let people talk negatively to you. If they start the "oh poor you" routine, change the subject. And look at life after cancer being a new adventure, whatever that adventure might be. I'd rather have an adventure than not be here to have one. So, what else would I recommend? Talk to people, share with other people who've got cancer. And it's a very sad statistic that now 1 in 2 people have cancer or will get cancer in their lives. So we're all going to have to get ready to give a lot of our friends support. And I am eternally grateful for the support I've had from my friends. They are absolute gems. Well, it's the 30th of April, and this will be my last video diary before the operation. I had the most fantastic shower and got myself feeling really good. Did my hair, even put a little bit of makeup on. And this is it. Wow. I'm feeling positive. I've sworn enough at this tumour. It is getting the hell out of here. And it's not going to leave any trace. So, in 48 hours, I hope I'm going to be cancer free. I'm not going to be getting up and coming home, but I'll be cancer free. And I've just had so much support from my fantastic friends. I remember a friend saying to me years ago, "You might not have much family, but friends are family, it's just a different name." And I'd like to thank all of my friends out there. You've been brilliant. So, no tears today. In a funny way, I'm looking forward to it. Purely because it's going to give me my life back. And lots of exciting things that I can do in the future. So if you've watched my video diary of leading up to an operation with cancer, I've hoped it's helped. I hope it's made you realise you're not alone, that 1 in 2 people are going through this now, which is pretty scary. But science and technology has made surgery so fantastic, even compared to, say, 10 years ago. So there are solutions. And you've got to stay positive. I know exactly how you feel. When somebody says, "Oh, you've got to be positive," but down in your heart, you're absolutely dying. You're hating your body. You just don't understand why me. But you get through it. You will. And as I said, my operation is tomorrow. And it's going to be the first day of the rest of my life. And it's going to be a good life. And I promised all my friends, I'm going to be as strong as they think I am. I don't often think I'm that strong in myself. But they have just been my rock. And there are too many of you to name you. I feel like an Oscars award ceremony here, but I'm not going to. But there's 59 of you out there that are rooting for me. I love you.
If you're visiting the site for the first time and it was useful, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to get more videos on exercises that help recovery after head and neck cancer surgery. Thanks for watching and see you again soon.